And I think the records are probably in their minds somewhat because they don't believe they should be in this first round, Canada. You know, they look at themselves and they want to compare themselves to USA and Mexico and Costa Rica and certainly Jamaica and Honduras, who have got the bye to that final round, right? So it's all well and good saying it. It's all well and good having the team on paper, which Canada now do, but they've got to prove it. And I think as much as these games should be kind of walkovers in most senses, there is the opportunity to put up a lot of goals, to really put a team to bed and to show, you know, we are one of the big hitters in this region, and in future World Cup cycles we shouldn't even be here. You've got to prove that, and this is an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and you also know that coming up in the second round, you're going to also be taking on Suriname, right? So you want to be able to leave on a high here today. So it's a lot of emotions going on, right? No, you have to score, but at the same time, don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah, because if you put added pressure on yourself, listen, we know it should be a walkover. We know it should be. But the difference between a lot of the teams around the region are the professionalism, the way you approach the game. And Canada, for years and years and years, have been one of the most professional federations and one of the most professional teams. So do the same thing you've always done. We've got a deeper squad, we've got a better squad than we've ever had, and that's coming from myself, who was a part of teams that were challenging with Gold Cups and that. But I think the players they've got on paper and the players they're putting on the field today, even though they are missing a couple, I still think it's far too much, and the professionalism and the way they approach the game naturally is going to be far too much.
Yeah, and now's not the time to be Canadian nice. No, doesn't matter if you're already up 6-0, you make it 7, you make it 8, you make it 9. Well, kickoff is just around the corner right here on One Soccer. We'll be taking you to Canada, Cayman Islands. It's the World Cup qualifier from Florida. We're going to talk Kyle Larin. How can we not after that hat trick? And yes, Corbiano as well.
Fact is, every insurance company hopes you drive safely, but Allstate helps you with DriveWise. Feedback that helps you drive safer, and that could lower your costs, even up to 30%. Are you in good hands?
Life wasn't meant to be lived on pause. When the time is right, let's press play. Prince Edward Island.
Oh, Canada! Oh, baby! Through the legs, he cannot stop scoring goals! Lucas Cavallini! Can you believe it? It's in! It's over the line! Alphonso Davies!
In 1997, we started a race, not to some distant planet, but to developing efficient electrified vehicles for this one. At Toyota, it's a race to continually evolve our hybrid electric, plug-in hybrid electric, and zero-emission hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles that emit only water. It's a race that has no finish line. It's a race where if we win, we all win.
Canada Soccer's national teams on One Soccer is presented by the Toyota Corolla family.
Match day live here on One Soccer. The sprinklers are now back in their place. The players will be taking to the pitch shortly. Cayman Islands versus Canada. Canada and the Cayman Islands second game here in the first round of World Cup qualifiers as we welcome you back inside our studios. Andy, Ian, and Ollie. Let's look a little bit at Kyle Larin. We have to. I mean, the guy scores a hat trick in the first game, and we had talked about on One Soccer today, Ollie, on our daily show, just how good he was looking in league play, how he deserved that call up. He showed it by getting those 3 goals, which, by the way, he is now 7th all time. He's tied with Jonathan David and Lucas Cavallini with 11 goals. But what do you want to see from him today?
More of the same. I just want to see a player full of confidence. He's been out of the fold for a while. Finally gets back in and bangs a hat trick. You can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
He just would have been happy to come in and get a couple shots and play 90 minutes. Genuinely would have been happy with that. To add a hat trick to that, I think he's full of confidence, and I'm expecting to see somebody like that tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a different kind of game for him because he is going to be playing as the number 9 rather than a bit more withdrawn. I think we will see him in most games play in that more withdrawn position. But as the number 9, you've got to be a bit more patient, I think. You've got to wait for the chances to come to you, stay high, stay central. You know against the Cayman Islands that if the Canadians are doing their job, there's going to be a lot of chances coming your way. It's only a matter of time, and you know, he just needs to bury them from there. But being tied on goals with David and Cavallini creates a nice little competition, right? And there may not be room for all 3 of them in the lineup. So you maybe start to see a bit of competitiveness between the trio there.
Nothing wrong with a little internal competition and pushing each other, that's for sure. You know, when John Herdman was talking about Theo Corbiano and described him as Cristiano Ronaldo, I will speak for myself when I say I gave a little chuckle. Ollie, you're kind of laughing as well. Now, I'm not saying that he is, I don't think any of us are, but when he took to the field and the way he was running and the way he was handling the ball and then, of course, scores a goal, are you sitting there going, wait a second, is this hype warranted?
Yeah, I think it can be warranted. And you said this to me earlier, like, why play him down? You know, he looks like such a talent. And why not just enjoy having these fantastic young players that we've got coming through? There's so many of them right now. Obviously, you know, we know Davies and David very well by now and almost take them for granted. But there just always seems to be almost, you know, once a year, once every 6 months, another young player that appears in the Canadian men's national team and looks like a real exciting talent. So obviously he's got a long way to go. He's not a first team player at Wolves yet. Hopefully that will come soon, but the talent is clearly there. The athleticism and natural physique is clearly there. Why not be excited about a player like that?
Yeah, for me, it's a breath of fresh air. The new generation of players coming through, and we used to break through. Dave Edgar will say the same thing when we first broke into the squad. Yeah. Very apprehensive. We'd come in our shell a little bit, and Corbiano's not like that. You see him come on. See him, he's warming up on the sidelines. He's doing tricks with both feet, and to his first touch of the ball. Like how a dream debut. So, hey, long way to continue, and we'll big him up as much as we can, and hopefully he starts playing over at Wolves and getting first team football. But hey, he's a special talent. We just need to nurture him properly, bring him up, and I'm sure John Herdman will do that. And he's coming into a great generation of players. Walk
in with a bit of swagger, is getting the start. We'll see what he can do here. Alistair Johnston, let's talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's a player we've mentioned a couple of times that I think they really like in the program. He's not kind of the modern day fullback who gets up and down and is ultra attacking. He's a much more kind of old-fashioned fullback, a bit more like Gary Neville. Likes to defend, takes pride in keeping clean sheets, and obviously fit in brilliantly in that Nashville team that was a very, very defensively minded team and had a lot of success in their first season playing that way, just being gritty, determined, not playing too high up the pitch. And I think having an option like that, I don't think he's going to replace Richie Laryea the way he's playing anytime soon. But having an option in defence like that in certain games against stronger opponents can be very useful. So he's someone to keep an eye on. Probably won't be that tested today, but he could be a useful option.
Do you think there's a bit of a test today? I mean, because again, we know Borjan's not there. We know Atiba Hutchinson also, you know, going back. And there are some guys here, obviously, with experience. But there is a lot of inexperience as well. Is there a little bit of a concern if the game doesn't start to go their way, or do you think this is the type of group that's already proven that, you know, they can pull themselves out of it?
I think they've got the professionalism about them. I think the whole thing is going to be their mentality rather than who they're up against. So they've got to go in with no arrogance, but a swagger. If they can kind of bridge that and find that medium, I think that it'll be the type of game that they'll benefit from massively.
So we talk a lot about goal differential. If they leave this game tonight, Ollie, and they're not either tied or ahead of Suriname, is that considered a disappointment?
Yes, there is obviously time to make it up against Aruba. But I think, yeah, again, you want to see Canada make a statement here. You want to see them go for records. You want to see them play like the team that we think they are, which is the most dangerous attacking Canadian team in history. This is an opportunity that they should be able to do that in. There's a lot of players with something to prove, getting a first opportunity in this game. And we know how important the goal difference is. So, yeah, I think it is important that they don't just do the job here, but they do it emphatically.
Well, let's take you inside now. The Stadium IMG, it is Canada taking on Cayman Islands. Second game in this first round of World Cup qualifier for both these teams. Again, Suriname right now ahead of Group B, +9 differential, whereas Canada sitting second with +4. You know they want to close that gap. Enjoy the first 45. We'll see you at half.
At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Cayman Islands, followed by the national anthem of Canada.
"26 hours later, proper COVID protocol abided by. We're finally here, and late is better than never. It's Canada and the Cayman Islands, the second match for both in Group B in the first round of World Cup qualifying in the CONCACAF region. The game postponed from Sunday in a way we can only imagine during these turbulent times. The good news, the game is being played. A 3-0 forfeit in Canada's favor really wouldn't have done Canada any favor at all. The expectation is an even bigger scoreline, putting Canada in a preferable position with goal differential, an all-important tiebreaker at this stage of the competition. Cayman Islands coming into this match an overwhelming underdog, coming off an opening match 3-0 loss at the hands of Suriname. 3 changes made in the team, including Jermaine Wilson comes out, who limped off the field due to injury in the first half of that tie last Wednesday night. In his place, Mark Ebanks comes on, the nation's leading goal scorer, a change at goalkeeper as well, as Albertini Holness taking over. For John Herdman's Canada side, 9 changes to the group as they freshen up and give some other players opportunity. First caps for center backs Frank Stirring and Ricardo Ferreira. First starts for Theo Curbanow and Alistair Johnston. With Suriname emerging as Canada's prime competition in this group, the more goals the better for Canada tonight, creating a cushion ahead of a final matchday showdown. That being said, nothing can be taken for granted, especially in a region where Canada has struggled to find goals in the past against teams they should easily handle. Canada were dominant in that 5-1 win over Bermuda on Thursday. Kyle Larin, in the form of his life, leading the way. He'll lead the way again tonight. As head coach John Herdman put it, it's 1 down, 19 more to go. Perfect starts only matter if you continue the pace, continue to progress, and continue your winning ways. It's a pleasure to have you along right here on the home of Canadian soccer. Gareth Wheeler alongside former Canadian international David Edgar, 42 caps for country in the commentary booth tonight. Canada pushing forward. There's Sammy Piette for the 3rd time tonight wearing the captain's armband. David, I'll just get your thoughts in a moment as Theo Corbianu on the ball, scored on his first touch in his first game for Canada. The early shot just wide of target. We're expecting much more of that tonight. David, a lot has been spoken about, spoken of, potentially tonight being a record-setting performance. Is that the way that you see things playing out for Canada in this one?
Well, I certainly think they're more than capable of achieving that record. Whether it's the main goal, I don't think that's necessary. As Ian said before, it's not just about going out. Don't think about the records, but they will be. They'll be thinking about it. And they know it's doable. But go out there, play with some freedom and some enjoyment, and then this young team's got a chance to really stake a claim for themselves.
Another word that's being used is ruthless. The leadership group in this team have had eyes on this match, ensuring a top performance. They want to be noticed in this region and beyond. And with talent like Davies, Larin, and others, there's no reason why that can't play out tonight. We are here at the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Canada has moved from Orlando to Bradenton for tonight's match. This is actually a home game for Cayman Islands, who are attacking left to right on your screen wearing red. An early foul. It must be said, although Cayman Islands lost their first game to Suriname, they were very compact. 2 of the goals did come on set pieces, one off a corner, one off a penalty as well. So they're a team that Herdman says they've been training together, David, on a regular basis, 3-4 times a week. So they're very well organized, despite not maybe having the talent anywhere close to what Canada possesses.
For sure. I mean, to be able to have your national team train a couple times a week is more than any other national team can ask for, right? Whether that's enough to break down this...
It's a great ball by Piette over the top. Carry on.
No, whether that's enough to break down this Canadian team, I don't think so. It's just about going to do a professional job for the Canadian team now.
It is a 4-3-3 formation. Max Crepeau with his first appearance since breaking his left thumb at MLS's back last July. Good to see Max back in action. The back 4 from right to left: Johnston, Ferreira, Stirring, and Davies, who shifts back to that left back position, has become so famous playing for Bayern Munich. Piette playing the 6 with Wotherspoon and Mark Anthony Kay in front. Corbianu, Larin, and Miller leading the line. Here is Alphonso Davies pushing forward. Might say on the team sheet it's at left back, but he's going to combine well with Liam Miller down here, that left-hand side.
Yeah, you're going to see both fullbacks extremely high. Sammy Piette just protecting those two center backs in the transitional periods.
Good time to introduce Ted Unkel. Very familiar to Major League Soccer fans in this country. 43 years of age, the American. 107 games under his belt. We get to reintroduce Canada to Ricardo Ferreira tonight. There he is. Center back, changing his association, played 1 game for Portugal against the United States. Miller was very good when he came on as a substitute. Wotherspoon inside the area in the first corner kick of the match, coming up right here in the 5th minute.
As you're saying about the centre backs there coming into and making their debuts, it's just a bit of a strange one for 2 centre backs in a game like this, that you're expected to dominate possession and win the game, but having that concentration for 90 minutes is key.
Liam Miller on loan at Charlton from Liverpool. He's on set piece duty. We predominantly saw Alphonso Davies taking corner kicks in the first game against Bermuda. Miller back across, wide open. Is that in? Did that cross the line? Off the bar and down. Scramble, and that's in. No doubt about that. First appearance for country. Welcome to Canada, Frank Stirring. And in the 5th minute, Canada opens the scoring.
And that's exactly it. Early goal for Canada. That's He's buzzing over the line. No, Frank Stirring on his debut. What a great start. Not much more you can ask for there. Just lands to him. He swings his right foot at it. Bottom corner. And you can see the reactions from Wotherspoon trying to get the ball back here. They are going for the wreckage. You can tell.
Stirring, Dutch-born. He's never been to Canada before, but he's got a Canada goal. You thought the Theo Corbianu introduction to Canadian international football was something. Well, Stirring just about the same. 4 or 5 minutes onto the field, gets his first goal. He's a player that excites John Herdman, 22 years of age. If it weren't for some numbers being depleted at the center back position, we could have very well seen him playing for the under-23s in Guadalajara. Needless to say, a nice goal to get things kick-started. Here we go again. Liam Miller. Outside in. Plays it to the right side. Corbianu out of his feet the second time. Canada have already hit the woodwork. It's Davies' turn. Woo! See you later. Alphonso Davies taken down inside the area. Ted Uncle waves no. Looked like there was absolutely a penalty shout there. Nothing given.
Fantastic feat from the kid there. You see
how is that not a penalty, David?
It's simple. It's a penalty. He's caught him.
Sympathy playing a role already as DeAndre Rowe looked to have absolutely caught Alphonso Davies as he turned him inside out. Good effort from Corbianu as well.
You could see within the first 6 minutes, those two buses John Herdman was talking about being parked well and truly inside the Cayman Islands center 18-yard box.
That is DeAndre Rowe, 20 years of age. Good to see him back on his feet. Stirring just received his Canadian passport, by the way, last March. So his father, Herman, could have played for the Canadian Olympic team during the 1980s. The last time Canada was in the Olympics in 1984, and he was close to making that decision. Remained on the outside in, but his son proudly wearing the maple leaf here tonight.
And I think that's what you're seeing more and more of with this national team program is players coming every couple months, just getting their citizenship, joining the national team program, and the strength in numbers.
Not the only player with a change of association. Stirring, Ferreira, Christian Gutierrez, Vancouver Whitecaps left back. Corbianu played growing up with the Romanian national team.
Steven Vittoria played for Portugal.
Absolutely. Canada playing a high line as this set piece is going to be played inside the area. It's Cameron Gray. This is his second cap here tonight. His first game internationally was actually against Suriname last week. Gray, that's a poor ball. Piet. Herdman full of praise of Samuel Piet, just his ability to break up games. Good refereeing there as they're going to bring it back. Tried to play advantage. Nothing was there. Canada free kick.
He's tried to let it go on. Tried to let it play on, but end of the day, there's 2 free kicks given there.
By the way, the record for Canadian goals in a game, an 8-0 win against the U.S. Virgin Islands. The biggest win in a World Cup qualifying game, 2011. 7-0 victory over St. Lucia. Those are the marks that we'll be keeping our eye on over the course of proceedings tonight. A long way to go. It's a warm night, rather stale environment. It almost looks like a facility you would have trained on or perhaps played, in the latter stages of your career, David.
Well, latter stages of my career, I certainly didn't have a pitch that nice, but it's fantastic, and you can see the balls rolling nicely, and there's really no excuses for either team.
Ball played into touch. You're wondering how many changes that John Herdman was going to make tonight. 2 players have returned to their clubs. Tiba Hutchinson. That was announced immediately following the match. And once this game was delayed, it meant that Milan Borjan had to return to his club as well. For what it's worth, he wasn't scheduled to start tonight anyways. This was always going to be Maxime Crepeau's game.
And it's good that we can get Max his first game after that long-term injury. He's in a fantastic first season with the Whitecaps, and was unfortunate to miss it last year through injury.
Wotherspoon. He's had a great year at St. Johnstone. Davies, far post, no one there. Except Corbianu lets that run. Wotherspoon won the Scottish League Cup with his club side. Second in team scoring and goals with 6. Leads the team in assists with 6 as well. 31-year-old player says that Scott Arfield played a big role in him declaring for Canada as well. He'd never been to Canada before declaring for the national team either.
I noticed how you didn't mention my name, playing part of that process.
Did you?
Well,
Did
of
you?
Course I did.
Walk us through. What did you say?
I think Scott Arfield got here.
Need to get your name out there, Eddie. Wonderful touch. Good sliding challenge. It's Wesley Robinson. Mark Anthony Kay to Wotherspoon. Keeps it going to Alphonso Davies. On 5 goals for country. Left that behind. It's well defended by Christopher Nunez Reeves. What a moment for these players for the Cayman Islands. Not one player in their side plays proper professional football. And to go up against a player like Alphonso Davies tonight, big learning experience for them.
It's a fantastic moment for them, and they'll be soaking in every moment of this. It's going to be tough, and they'll be tired bodies at the end, but I'm sure they'll be running to get Alfonso's jersey by the end of it. But
Cayman Islands actually did quite well in CONCACAF Nations League, the C Division. That's what the Nations League is about, providing competitive games for some of these developing nations. Finished joint leaders atop the group with Barbados, just lost out on goal differential. 4 wins and 2 losses during the group stage. Of course, in the Nations League A, Canada with the famous 2-0 victory over the United States. On their way to a second place finish. There's Crépeau, who, after suffering that thumb injury, David, and you're a player that suffered a career-threatening injury of your own over the course of your career, said he had to relearn how to use that left hand.
Yeah, I spoke to Max about that. It was unfortunate, the injury, and that could be a career ender for a goalkeeper, depending on the recovery. And relearning to use your hand sounds awful. I had to do something similar, learning how to run again, and the mechanics of running. And it's tough, but he's come back stronger, and he's hungry.
Ferreira over the top, Wotherspoon across, very unselfish, back of the net, 2-0 Canada. And it's Kyle Larin. Why not? 3 goals last week. His first tonight in the 13th minute. And Canada up 2 goals.
And there it is. That's what Kyle Larin does. He scores goals. You play him, and Kyle Larin, doesn't matter what position, he'll get chances, he will score goals. Fantastic run from Wotherspoon, stretching the back 4, and just an unselfish knockback for Kyle Larin to finish. Great start from Canada.
2 goals in 13 minutes. Ruthless from the get-go. Don't go anywhere, there's more to come. Larin in a bit of a different role tonight, playing the number 9, played underneath last time out. Wotherspoon taken down. It's going to be a free kick coming up. That's a dangerous challenge by Joshua Frederick Charlie. He's the captain tonight, the 27-year-old.
That's exactly what Canada needs to do. Straight on the front foot after scoring that second goal, go and get a third, win the ball back high up, and then a fantastic opportunity to get a third here.
Baptism by fire for a young 20-year-old goalkeeper in Albertini Holness. Not easy at all. Miller, Davies over this one. Wotherspoon wide open on the near post. Miller goes to the far post. To Ferreira, back across. Goalkeeper goes down. Offside flag is up. Wonder if Liam just completely didn't see Wotherspoon because he was wide open inside the area.
I thought for sure he was going to play it. And looking back in Canada's last 2 games here in this one, everything has gone short. Set pieces have gone short. Corners, it's almost like they've been working on it, using these 2 games to experiment and whatnot, and that was a perfect opportunity to slide David Wotherspoon in. But
Piet. Laren. He's in behind. He has options. Back to Wotherspoon. Oh, just sclaffed at it. Just didn't make clean contact. Another very good goal-scoring opportunity. Wotherspoon up with the miss. That would have been his first Canadian goal.
Laren does well here, fending off the two defenders, and he's got his cavalry coming in, and I think David Wotherspoon knows he had a bit more time. Could have put his foot on it. But the pressure's there, and Canada needs to continue this intensity in the press. Win it back straight away and attack.
For all the goals Laren's been scoring, his Besiktas teammate in Turkey, and Atiba Hutchinson, was full of praise about his commitment to team, the work that he put in defensively as well. He's becoming much more of a well-rounded player, isn't he?
For sure he is. And then I spoke to Atiba about that as well. As I said the other day, he started to learn the game, the nuances of the football, of the game, and it's doing wonders for him. He's playing different positions across there, played on the left, played inside here and up front now. But the goals are flying in for him.
Davies read that so well. 51st appearance tonight for Piet. Joked on the media conference call this week he was jealous of Corbianu scoring a goal on his first touch in his first game. Piet's played 51, has never scored for Canada. In fact, scored his first club goal for Montreal Impact last season against the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah, Sammy Piet he's, as we call him, the bulldog in there. He's a number 6 through and through. He breaks play up fantastic, and he doesn't need to score goals. He does an unbelievable job for the national team here.
Love to see him get one tonight.
Love to.
Would love it.
Don't think he will.
Miller from Brampton, Ontario, to Corbianu from the Hammer in Hamilton. Flicked on. Wotherspoon again.
Another short corner there from Canada. Definitely working on something.
Mark Anthony Kay in the middle of the park. Was a late call for this one. Passed a late fitness test. Was feeling a little bit of something in his foot. He's okay. He's good to go. Stirring. Good switch. Ball over the top. Wotherspoon. Nope. Into the hands of Holness.
Yeah, I think Mark Anthony Kay, you see him there, just apologizing to the right-hand side. Theo there. He could open his body out and play, and that's what Canada needs to do here when they've got these two banks of 4. Just side to side, move it, find the gaps. Not force that longer one.
Worth pointing out, different formation tonight as well. More of a prototypical 4-3-3. There's more of a box in the midfield that we saw against Bermuda, with Hoylett and Laren occupying those spots, allowing Richie Larea to play down the right and Davies to play down the left last time out. Oof, Salad through the legs.
Yeah, Miller won't be happy about that one. In terms of the formation, yes, it looks like a 4-3-3. On the ball, naturally, it's not going to be Alfonso bombing on. Sammy Piet, as I said before, dropping into that 3, and even allowing the 2 center backs to get even higher, and keeping that high line and pressure. Keeping the 2 wingers wide, Liam Miller there, just getting the ball, attacking his player every single time he gets it, whether he's got the ability to go outside, come inside if you need to.
Going to be interesting. I'm going to be interested, I should say, to pick your brain about Ferreira and Stirring tonight. 2 defenders of a modern profile, both very good on the ball.
Yeah, I think you have to be as a defender nowadays.
Good ball, Stirring out wide to Miller. Davies on the overlap. Gives it to Alfonso Davies across, and the goalkeeper, not sure he was too confident about that. Ended up between his legs. They don't ask how, as long as you keep it out.
There's the width again from Canada. Stirring able to play that pass long, very long to Liam Miller with the overlapping Alfonso Davies.
We saw it with Kamal Miller playing that left-sided center back position against Bermuda. Very good in distribution as well. Miller. It's the first ever meeting between Canada and the Cayman Islands. Canada did play in Georgetown Grand Cayman, wonderful place if you haven't been, David.
Looking forward to it.
Played him in the Nations League, beat Cuba 1-0 in 2019. Corbianu, Miller, Wotherspoon. Surveys, ball played over top. Oh, just some miscommunication there. It was Alistair Johnston marauding forward, the Nashville SC right back.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about there. Starting from the left-hand side, moving out to the right. Corbianu cutting inside, shifting it again. Nice early look from Liam Miller to play David Wotherspoon, and you're in the box. You're in the 6-yard box with a good cross and an opportunity. It's about being patient as well. If these goals aren't coming flooding in as you think every couple minutes, you can only beat what's in front of you there. These are 11 proud Cayman players who want to come out and put on a show for their country as well. So be patient as a Canadian team here. Move the ball side to side.
Kay to Piet to Stirring. Plays in the second division in the Netherlands. Kay, LAFC. To Ferreira. Corbianu. Multiple crossovers. Switches on, Stirring. Left too much there for Davies, but wins it right back. Nice work by Stirring. Davies, just cross the lines again with Wotherspoon. Saw what he's trying to do. Good recovery by Davies. Well done. Fonzie. Inside to Laren. Switches on. Johnston overlapping Corbianu. Alistair Johnston across. Davies is there. Skips off his leg. Didn't think it would make it all the way to him. Canada throw.
Canada's getting enjoyed in those wide areas, but when they get in the wide areas, can they get their head up and pick out a cross, pick out a pass? Be a bit more composed in those wider areas.
Stirring. Look at the width. Miller providing it this time. Wotherspoon made space. No one took it.
Canada has to go wide here with these two banks of four so compact.
Miller far post. Sorry, Eddie. Whole mess with the punch.
That's okay.
Johnston. Out to Corbianu. Gets it on his left foot. We think he's preferred on his left. Piet said in training that he's not even sure if Corbianu knows if he's better with his right or his left. A rare chance for Cayman to go on a break here. Ricardo Ferreira gets there ahead of Mark Ebanks.
And that's what those two center backs are there to do, and stay back for that transition. Canada never really in any danger there with the numbers they got back, and that's the thing. They'll have the legs to get back because they've got the ball. They're not exerting that much energy in the defensive areas, so they've got the energy to get back when they need to.
Wotherspoon with the foul. It's been a great week for Canadian soccer. I know it didn't work out for the under-23s in Guadalajara, falling to Mexico last night. You watched it right here on One Soccer, but if you're trying to plot out the depth chart, kind of analyzing and assessing different players that can be part of this program, it's incredible the depth that we're saying. 9 changes to the 11 tonight, a 20-man squad in Mexico, and that doesn't even include the Toronto FC players who were unable to go because of COVID protocol to that tournament, as well as players unable to play at this Canada camp, including Jonathan David and Jonathan Osorio. Here's Mark Anthony Kay to Wotherspoon. He has all kinds of time. David Wotherspoon, he gets his first Canada goal. Make it 3 in the 25th minute.
Brilliant finish from Wotherspoon. Excellent composure in the 18-yard box. Mark Anthony's great driving forward like that, and Wotherspoon's picking up these nice little pockets on the left-hand side, and good composure there and a great finish. And a great way to get your first goal for your country. Well, his adopted country.
We'll say it's his country. His mother was born in Canada. He's a Canadian now. David Wotherspoon As Canada continue to push forward, goals are the priority here, and another chance. Don't look away. Liam Miller, a cross, swing and a miss, Mark-Anthony Kaye. That was put up on a tee. We were mentioning in the Bermuda game as well, sometimes when you have time and space, your eyes light up.
You certainly see your name in the lights. You definitely, before you've taken your eye off the ball, before you think it's hit the back of the net sometimes. I know I certainly did. A few fan shots on the edge of the 18-yard box with a nosebleed.
Corbianu. Look at the power, look at the strength. Good ball. Laren and Kaye were both there. I think he had eyes for Mark Anthony.
That's it. That's the composure I'm talking about. He's got his head up there. He's done well, and he's looked to pick out a cross.
Stirring. This is going to be a long evening for Cayman Islands. Miller. Davies. Alfonso Davies crossover, weaving his way through. Alfonso Davies taken down. This time, penalty given.
Yeah, stonewall penalty. Alfonso gets his way, bumbles his way through at the end, and defender has a last-ditch challenge, and it's a stonewall penalty for me. Looks like Alfonso's going to take the ball.
He's got the finesse, he's got the strength, no doubt about it. Probably should have earned a penalty earlier. No doubt about it this time around either.
Not sure why he's telling him to get up there.
Look who's going to take the penalty. It's the 20-year-old himself, Alfonso Davies, to take. Davies, 5 goals for country. Make it 6. Fonzie for fun. Canada up 4 goals in the 28th minute.
They're enjoying themselves now. They're winning the ball back in such dangerous areas. Cayman Islands in 6 and 7s at the back, and Canada's just all over them.
2-time Canadian Men's Player of the Year. And he just turned 20. This is just his 2nd World Cup qualifying match for Canada. 3 assists last week. Give him a goal here tonight. And how many more might he and Canada add before we get through the 90?
Fair play to the Cayman team. They're trying to play out still. They're still trying to keep the ball on the deck a little bit, playing out from the back. But they're putting themselves in a little bit difficult situations with Canada and Kyle Laren starting that press from the front.
Liam Miller walks through. We mentioned this before, Eddie, just Canada hasn't always punished the nations, the smaller countries, that they should. I mean, we're thinking back against games against St. Kitts where there's a little bit of a struggle. Is it just the difference in quality in this Canadian team compared to teams before that is making, this so emphatic? We're not even through 30 minutes yet.
For sure, the qualities are playing a major factor in it. The pitch, you're not playing on a cricket pitch in St. Lucia, which has made it difficult in the past, but this Canadian team is capable, and the players who aren't even playing is capable of beating teams 7 and 8-0 on a school field. So
good ball, Corbianu. Maintaining that position in the wide area, opening up so much space for so many others. Wotherspoon on the turn to Liam Miller, up and over. Should have been 5, and Miller knows it.
Just leans back a little bit on that one. He knows he should have done better. But excellent work again from Canada, using the wide areas. Theo, it looks, and I was just about to say, it looks like Theo can get himself. He naturally comes back on his left. He could have played that to Kyle with his right foot, but with this switch of play, Kyle Laren might get a bit more early service.
Corbianu's come over to the left side now. Gets to play on the same flank as Alfonso Davies.
Wouldn't that be nice?
No kidding. Laren. Just a slip right there. Davies. Woo! A wonderful piece of skill. Go on, Alfonso. When I say it's for fun, I'm not joking. Makes it look so easy.
He makes a lot of the game look easy.
The speed, the pace, the strength. He's got it all.
Can we get it wide now?
Does come out wide to Corbianu. 1v2. Can do that when you're up 4-0. We saw the confidence of Corbianu minutes after coming onto the field. A little bit of a back heel behind the leg. Bit of control, which I know some people will say, well, okay, we see it before, but for a player to be doing that in his international debut at 18 years of age, that's when you stand up and take notice.
It is. It's the biggest stage in football, in world football. And to have the confidence to be able to do that, one, is excellent. And two, why not enjoy it? Why can't we enjoy that and play with a bit of flair and a bit of freedom and a bit of creativity?
Alistair Johnston chips to the far post. He had eyes for Mark Anthony Kay.
John Hurton will be telling these young wingers as well, every single time they get the ball, get at them, get at them. And that's building their confidence through as well. For when these bigger tests come along, playing against better defenders.
It's funny, this isn't the most experienced Canadian team coming into tonight's game. An average age of 24, an average cap of 12. Just 17 total goals in the team coming into tonight's game, and 132 total appearances, and 51 are courtesy of the captain, Piet. Wotherspoon, a little push from behind, kept on going through the legs. Mark Anthony Kay, they're going to give it. Believe it, Mark Anthony. His first Canada goal. Put it on repeat in his 50th game. Stevie Caldwell, John Herdman, loving every minute of it. Canada 5, Cayman Islands 0.
I think they're wondering about what his celebration was. He did, not sure what it was there, but whether he's so surprised he scored or not. But he's getting himself in great positions, and it's time to start believing now.
The reaction was almost as though we thought he missed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. Clearly the Canada bench wasn't either.
Well, the 26-year-old has worked for everything that's come his way in professional football. Did well in USL, and he's just such a dominant force in Major League Soccer with LAFC at present time as well.
Yeah, I've only worked with Mark a few times, and he's a top pro, and as you say, he's earned everything that's come his way.
Won a Supporters' Shield with LAFC, won a USL championship with Louisville, and doing work off the field as well. As we should mention, Canada releasing a statement before the Bermuda match, taking a significant stance along with the rest of the footballing world against racism. And Mark Anthony Kay has been a vocal leader on that front as well, and was just recently elected to the MLSPA executive board as well. Ball played over the top, Kyle Larin, all kinds of time. Larin inside, gets on his right foot, big challenge. That's where you might need a little bit more of a sense of urgency.
He's done excellent. Sorry, Garrett. He's done excellent with his first touch with his head, and he's composed himself. And that just cutting back inside took a little bit too far for him. Just takes it off his foot, and it's a good challenge from the Cayman skipper.
Corbianu goes short again. Davies. Kay. Right idea from distance.
Probably feels he can score from anywhere now.
You know, I have a soft spot for a player like Mark Anthony Kay as well, as he played university football here north of the border for York University. Scored 18 goals in 29 games and was an OUA Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's great to see players like that using. There's different pathways. There's different ways to get to where you want to be, especially being Canadian. It's opening up a lot more now for this younger generation. But he worked his way up, and he did the grind.
Davies, Miller checks. Scott Piet, Wotherspoon, Ferreira, Corbianu. Nope. Canada's still showing some patience. I know your eyes open up and you see the goal. There is Benjamin Pugh, 31 years of age. She's from Ipswich in England. As far as jobs go, managing the Cayman Islands, not a bad gig.
It's not a bad gig at all, is it? You're 31. It's certainly better than Ipswich.
Okay. Davies. To Ferreira. Good to see him back on the field playing. I mean, there's been so much promise in terms of his footballing ability. Just hasn't been able to stay fit. It experienced 2 ACL injuries, which completely derailed his career. If you're not familiar with Ricardo Ferreira, he's 28 years old from Mississauga. He only had 1 appearance this season. And that was just 6 minutes back on December 7th. He's just played 7 games since 2018, between 2018 and now. So good to see him back on the field, and doesn't have a club at present time, but certainly has the quality. Just needs to be able to prove that he can stay healthy, and that's part of him being back in the team here tonight. A rare opportunity for the Cayman Islands to come forward. Good ball to the near side. Oh, just poor. His touch let him down. Did it at Mark Ebanks. Cayman Islands had numbers forward, and now they got to get back.
I think the striker there is going to take a touch in on goal and take his effort. They're going to be few and far between tonight. 1 shot at sight at goal, he's got to take it. But it was a good break from the Cayman team.
Okay, inside, Corbianu tried to turn, he's held up there. Laren from a wide position. Davies through the legs. Not sure he meant that. Liam Miller cuts inside. Miller up and over. John Herman raved about Miller's form, not only coming into Canada's camp, but what he's been doing for Charlton. He's been playing for the under-23s with Liverpool. Was once upon a time managed by Steven Gerrard when he was managing youth levels at that club. But he's at the stage of his career where he needs regular first-team senior men's football.
Yeah, and I've spoken to Liam about that, actually. I've kept in touch with him since he came into his first camp, and he needs to get out. He knew at that stage of your career, you need to get out and play professional games. It doesn't matter what level. He's not necessarily going to get in the team at Liverpool anytime soon, so he's done the right thing.
And he's making an impression right now at Charlton. Another corner kick coming up as they're starting to add up for this Canadian team.
I think it's going short.
Yes. Corbianu, off ahead, and another corner kick coming up. Why not play it short? There's been all kinds of talk about stats when it comes to corner kicks. Maintain possession, find options, get movement. The big men are forward in Ferreira and Stirring.
You've got a 2v1 out there in the corner flag.
Yes.
You would do that anywhere else on the field, so why not do it there and build up instead of putting it into the mixer where they have bodies?
Davies. Decay. Wotherspoon. Turn, fired, right idea again.
Had more time.
Canada 10 goals in their first 2 qualifying games thus far, and not even halfway through the second game. 5 different goal scorers as well.
That's exciting for a Canadian team. Something we didn't have in the past is goals from different players on the field and different areas of the field. So we can spread the goals out across the pitch, and it's even better for the team.
Johnston. Good work by Wotherspoon. Excellent ball. Wotherspoon cuts it back to Corbianu. Smashes it just past the far post. That's some wonderful football being played by Canada. They're patient. They're working both on and off the ball. The connectedness just looks so much more sharp than it did last week.
It starts from this man here. David Wotherspoon's been fantastic this first 40 minutes. He's been on the left side, creating triangles with Liam Miller in the 1-2s and getting in that side. And then you see him there on the right-hand side. We know about his energy levels, and he's showing it here in a hot day in Florida. But it's about those triangles, and those are key to Canada, especially in the wide areas.
Herdman stressed some of his selection would be based upon players who are currently in season. That obviously excluded the MLS contingent. Wotherspoon, one of those players playing regular football overseas, just that much more sharp and in shape, can rely upon them. There are your 5 goal scorers.
Yeah, you can see the energy levels he's bringing to this team here. And that's what's key, keeping the foot on the gas here. Be relentless, as we said at the beginning.
DeAndre Rowe goes into the book in the 42nd minute. Say, what do you want me to do? Look who I'm marking down this Canada left-hand side. Rowe's just 20 years of age, his 3rd appearance for country here tonight. Corbianu. Inside the 6, Wotherspoon lays that back, Alistair Johnston!
Good for you, kid.
Make it 6! 6 goals, 6 different goal scorers. Johnston gets his first. The smile on his face tells it all, doesn't it? 6-0 Canada.
Corbianu with about 3,000 stepovers there and gets his pullback. And there's your right back within 8 yards of the goal. So you can see the pressure Canada's got on, getting the numbers forward. They're being relentless.
Johnston joins Stirring. Kay and Wotherspoon scoring their first for country.
Just such a shame scoring in your country. You're not doing it in a packed house in front of 20, 30,000, getting that feeling of your debut goal for your country.
Another free kick coming up for Canada. What a story Johnston's been. Caught Canada, I think caught Nashville by surprise, how good he was over the course of last season. 23 games. He actually played 2 Canadian Championship games back in 2019 for Vaughan, Missouri against Halifax Wanderers. Ended up being sent off in the second leg, right at the death. Goes 11th overall in the 2020 Super Draft, and John Herdman loves his profile, and why not? Ball played to the far post. Oh, Stirring was there, wasn't he? Ferreira was there too. Miller short available again. Canada, we're assuming these statistics we're being provided are actually correct. 21 shots to none right now. We're still in the first half.
I got to be honest, you love to see it. You love to see this scoreline right now, and hopefully it continues into the second half, because this breeds confidence. This breeds confidence for, it doesn't matter if it's, you still have to go out and beat what's in front of you. And Canada can do that, and they can do that by a huge margin if they continue to keep doing the right things they've done here in the first 45 minutes.
Miller. Liam Miller lays that back. Laren. Look at Davies. He's feasting. Davies putting all kinds of pressure on the ball. It's not the battle you want to fight. Davies comes away with it, no surprise. Spins over top of the ball, why not? Johnston. Back to Davies. Johnston, great layoff, far post. Wotherspoon's there. David Wotherspoon. Thankfully for Cayman Islands, just a minute going to be added here.
Well done from Frank Stirring as well. Again, it's tough as a center back. This is not much for you going on. Keep focused, keep engaged, and he's stepping in and win the balls, which puts Canada right back in the attack.
Laird of the top, Wotherspoon. Needed a good recovery right there. Well won back by guess who? Wotherspoon. He's been everywhere. Must be noted, great movement off the ball, great interplay by Canada, creating all of these opportunities. Good little move there by Jonah Ebanks. Leads to nothing. Last chance in the first half. We strongly suggested to you that tonight may be a record-setting night for the Canadian men's national team. Most goals they've ever scored in a game, 8. The biggest victory by 8 goals as well. 6 goals to the good in the first half for the Canadian men's national team. 4 first-time goal scorers. Frank Stirring finished the party. Alistair Johnston ended it in the first half. Canada in a rout. It's Petrillo, it's Hume, it's Platt, and they're coming.
This broadcast of Canada Soccer's national teams on One Soccer is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Fact is, every insurance company hopes you drive safely. But Allstate helps you with DriveWise. Feedback that helps you drive safer, and that could lower your costs, even up to 30%. Are you in good hands?
Life wasn't meant to be lived on pause. When the time is right, let's press play. Prince Edward Island.
Oh, Canada! Oh, baby! Through the legs, he cannot stop scoring goals! Lucas Cavallini! Can you believe it? It's in! It's over the line! Alphonso Davies!
In 1997, we started a race, not to some distant planet, but to developing efficient electrified vehicles for this one. At Toyota, it's a race to continually evolve our hybrid electric, plug-in hybrid electric, and zero-emission hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles that emit only water. It's a race that has no finish line. It's a race where if we win, we all win.
This broadcast of Canada Soccer's national teams on One Soccer is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Inside 13 minutes, Kyle Larin making it 2-0 for the Canadians as they ultimately go up 6-0 after the first 45. With that goal, though, Larin takes over sole possession of that 7th spot in all-time goals for the Canadian men's national team. He now has 12. In his sights is Ali Gerba at the moment, who is sitting with, what does he have over there? He has 15. So that's who he's going to be chasing for 6th. As we welcome you back inside our studio, Andy Petrillo, Ian Hume, and Oliver Platt. So far, mission accomplished?
Yeah, so far so good. We've seen 4 players get their first goal for Canada, so we're seeing players come into the team and make an immediate impact and understand what this game should be like, which is total domination and a lot of chances and a lot of goals. They're already ahead of Suriname on goal difference now, and they've still got a half left here and Aruba to play, so you're looking pretty good in terms of getting that advantage going into the Suriname game. And I just like the ruthlessness about them. I like the way that every time they score a goal, someone's going and getting the ball, picking it up and running it back to the center circle, and they want to get the game restarted again. It's not very Canadian, but I like it. I like that killer instinct and that desire to really bury this team and put up a few goals.
Yeah, I had made that joke. There's no time to be Canadian here and be nice. I said, but me being Canadian, raised Roman Catholic, I am just drowning in guilt right now. But this is exactly what this team needs to be doing. But let's show a little bit of love, a little bit more for Kyle Larin, because we had talked about him scoring that hat trick. What was expected of him here? Because you didn't want to let down, right? So he shows up on the score sheet.
Yeah, question mark around changing the position, whether it would affect his game. I think he's been the target man perfectly today. And you see this, his first touch obviously wasn't as good as he might have hoped, but the confidence he's got, he makes sure he hits the target. And there should be more and more goals there for him, but for him, it's a good performance. Good 45 minutes in a game that is really tough because the ball hasn't really gone through the middle much. No. It's come down the wings endless times and causing loads and loads of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, David Witherspoon was somebody, he was all over the pitch there, assists on that one, gets a goal himself. Now, I know you said 4 players getting their first goal for Canada in this game, but 6 overall. So 11 goals so far Canada scored in this tournament. 6 have come from players who picked up their first. He's one of them. Born in Scotland, representing Canada. But what have you made of his play in that first 45? What was that?
A couple of us have done that, born in Scotland.
I knew you were waiting for the pride there a little bit.
Well, you got competition, because I think he's played really, really well. I think he's been arguably Canada's best player. What you need in games like this is players to kind of give you some movement, right? You don't want to be too static, and what Witherspoon has done is he's just been that loose midfielder who basically is given permission to roam into the final third. And this is a great finish, again, after one of those runs from the middle to the final thirds. He's done an excellent job of just breaking beyond the defensive line, giving them a passing option behind the defense, and then using the ball well, as we saw in Kyle Larin's goal as well. So he looks like he could be a really useful option. Not someone who maybe stands out for the level he's playing at in Scotland, but he's a quality player on this evidence. Yeah, connection there as his mum was born in Winnipeg. So the Canadians up 6-0 after the first 45 over Cayman Islands. We have a massive announcement coming up after the break. You're going to want to stick around and hear it here on One Soccer.
Fact is, every insurance company hopes you drive safely. But Allstate helps you with DriveWise. Feedback that helps you drive safer. And that could lower your costs, even up to 30%. Are you in good hands?
Oh, Canada! Oh, baby! Through the legs, he cannot stop scoring goals! Lucas Cavallini! Can you believe it? It's in! It's over the line! Alphonso Davies!
In 1997, we started a race, not to some distant planet, but to developing efficient electrified vehicles for this one. At Toyota, it's a race to continually evolve our hybrid electric, plug-in hybrid electric, and zero-emission hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles that emit only water. It's a race that has no finish line. It's a race where if we win, we all win.
Life wasn't meant to be lived on pause. When the time is right, let's press play. Prince Edward Island.
team in action right here on One Soccer as they begin their quest for CONCACAF Champions League glory. In fact, you can watch the entire tournament right here on One Soccer with leg one beginning April 6th. TFC will be in action April 7th. Ollie, good news where we're just bringing more and more of these games to soccer fans.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we made it clear, like, we love soccer all over the world, but we particularly love North American soccer and Canadian soccer, right? And we want to have as much of that on this channel as possible. So the Champions League is a competition I love, and I think it's a competition that's really just scratching the surface in terms of what it can be. When you look at how important the UEFA Champions League is in Europe, and it's the centerpiece of European football, right? And the CONCACAF Champions League is already very important and very prestigious, and we're still waiting for that first MLS team to potentially win it. But I think there's so much room for growth as well for it to become a real, massive competition in this region.
Kind of access as well for fans to be able to watch the entire CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah, it's massive, especially like your TFC fans. You're not getting games all the time. You want to see them, and especially not being able to go and watch them live. At least you can make sure you get to see the games. And the CONCACAF Champions League's a new one to me because I've been living away. But now that I'm back over here, I'm going to be diving in a bit more into North American soccer and into MLS and Canadian soccer and all that. So it's a great chance for myself. So for every other fan, it's massive.
So Toronto FC representing Canada, obviously we have 4 MLS teams representing America on that side of things. But for TFC, April 7th, it's also going to be the first time that fans get to see them, obviously since they were knocked out in November. What are you expecting with this team, with the new head coach?
Yeah, I can't wait for this game because it really is the start of a new era, right? Greg Vanney has been there so long. Chris Armas has come in, and it's not kind of a status quo change where they're going to kind of continue where they left off. I think they're going to make major changes here. They're going to play a different style of play. I think whenever you try and play a different style of play, especially the kind of style of play that Chris Armas wants, it's very demanding. It's very different. It's going to be really interesting to see how this team adjusts. I think they may be struggling with a few injuries in the back and in goal at the minute, which could make things interesting as well. Jonathan Osorio is not with Canada, as we know. So it's going to be a massive challenge to play a Liga MX team and take on board everything that Chris Armas is trying to implement and obviously, be very good very quickly against a very strong opponent.
Entering a new era, that is what TFC is doing, and you can watch them in action for the first time this season right here on One Soccer, CONCACAF Champions League beginning April 6th. We will also have the final game in the men's Olympic qualifier. That's Honduras and Mexico. Both of them have already booked their ticket to Tokyo. Now they just find out who will be victorious in this tournament. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time. When we return, it's Canada up 6-0 over Cayman Islands. Second half coming up next with Gareth Wheeler and David Edgar.
Can you believe it? It's in! It's over the line! Alphonso Davies!
In 1997, we started a race, not to some distant planet, but to developing efficient electrified vehicles for this one. At Toyota, it's a race to continually evolve our hybrid electric, plug-in hybrid electric, and zero-emission hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles that emit only water. It's a race that has no finish line. It's a race where if we win, we all win.
Life wasn't meant to be lived on pause. When the time is right, let's press play. Prince Edward Island.
Fact is, every insurance company hopes you drive safely. But Allstate helps you with DriveWise. Feedback that helps you drive safer, and that could lower your costs, even up to 30%. Are you in good hands?
Canada Soccer's national teams on One Soccer is presented by the Toyota Corolla family.
Frank Stirring, David Witherspoon, Mark Anthony, Kay, Alistair Johnson getting their first